One of the necessary evils of living in Los Angeles, California, is the fact that you have to drive virtually everywhere you go. You can use public transportation if you're willing to navigate that situation, but it is very difficult. But we have a nice sunny day. California is a car culture, so as we drive over to meet with Jim Earl, we can enjoy some good talk radio.
Now the point is, the NRA has this crime researcher that found this memo, and the memo undercuts all of Obama's claims. The memo makes it clear.
What?
That the only way the government will get what they want is through registration and eventually banning guns. It's a memo that spells out current policy about guns.
Wow.
And the policy is X. And what the memo points out is the only way to get to X is to take people's guns from them. And
no!
Start by registering every damn one of them.
What?
The memo simply, it's one of these internal memos. Let's say government bureaucrat says, look, we eventually want to make having a gun illegal. How do we do it with the Second Amendment? So a bunch of guys get down and start writing.
Who are these guys?
A memo. Okay, if that's really what you want to do, here's how you would have to do it given the Constitution, the Second Amendment. That's what was found.
Constitution
it's a
experts.
Theoretical memo. It's not a policy memo yet. Just a theoretical memo that somebody asked to put together a policy. And what the memo makes clear is that the only way that Obama can get what he wants, or that the government can get what they want regarding guns, is massive, full-fledged registration and the eventual banning of guns.
No!
I want to be very clear about this.
Please, Rush.
Nobody has proposed banning guns.
Oh, you're just saying it.
What has happened is somebody at the regime said to somebody else,
some guys,
what do we have to do to get to point A or X?
So some guys got together to have this meeting, Rush.
And so these big thinkers,
they're big thinkers.
The assignment. They look at it and they say, if you really want to get to X, the only way you can get there to have that policy is total registration, but you're eventually going to have to ban guns. It's the only way you can affect what you want is to ban guns.
These guys got together with the regime and they put together this document that starts with X and ends with Z on how to ban guns.
Having this policy, all they're saying is that there exists a memo.
There's a memo somewhere
explaining if that's your objective, this is how you do it.
I want to see that memo.
Not that they've put anything in motion yet.
They haven't done anything with it.
This undercuts the idea, when the regimes, we're not even thinking about banning guns. They are thinking about it. That's not all they're doing, but it is something that is in a memo, under consideration, maybe seriously, unseriously. But the point is,
it might be serious, it might be unserious.
It's being thought of.
It's being thought. Oh, wow.
And the AP is furious that the NRA found the memo.
Ooh, they got it. The NRA's got the memo.
According to the AP, they're misusing it. They're stating it's applicable in ways that it isn't, and that's not what the NRA is doing. The NRA is simply doing what I just did.
Yeah.
The NRA is pointing out, hey, look, there's some people in government who are tinkering with how to get to point A on a policy.
We're not saying any names.
To do it.
We're not going to say any names, but there are people in the regime.
Justice Department official called the memo an unfinished review of gun violence research.
You believe that?
It doesn't represent policy. I'm sure it doesn't yet.
Yet. Good, Rush.
The memo says requiring background checks for more gun purchases could help, but also could lead to more illicit weapon sales. It says banning assault weapons and high-capacity ammo magazines produced in the future, but exempting those already owned by the cops, would have a limited impact because people now own so many of them. So it comes up with ways around that.
Well, that's how they do it, sneaky bastards.
John F. Kennedy says, I need to get to the moon in 10 years. So a bunch of people at NASA put together the plan. This is what we would have to do. That's all that's happened. Don't anybody misunderstand. The point is the memo exists. The AP tried to suppress it along with the rest of the media.
AP.
The NRA hated and reviled, found it, and so now the NRA is the problem.
Yeah, again.
Not the regime.
Not the regime.
We'll be back.
Rush Limbaugh, pointing the way on the EIB network. KFI AM 640.
Barbara Walters was hospitalized after taking a nasty fall.